Oh,
Oh yeah, we had the wrong thumbnail
looks
up.
like I ran the wrong thumbnail. Yeah, hold on
Oh
a
no,
second. I gotta find the
sorry
right one.
y'all.
Yeah, that's weird. I'm sorry,
Man, we just
Shyla.
having a funky day today.
Wow. I don't know how that happened. I'm gonna have to bring up the other one. Hang on one second.
Well, that's me and Alex. They were here
Well, that's
last week.
that's a first for us, huh?
Yeah, they like now. We're gonna come back here again. We're taking
So
over.
hold on a second. I'm just going to bring this up because I want to share this. You make such amazing, wonderful drawings each week,
Thank
and
you.
so I was actually going to shout it out. I don't know what happened. I must have rendered the movie with the wrong image in there. But
Yeah.
give us your intro. Give us your saying.
Okay. Hello, my name is Courtney Webb, and I am the Strange,
And I'm Michael Zinn, and I am the wonderful.
and we are the
The
Strange and
Strange and
Wonderful.
Wonderful. Yes, welcome to this week's edition of The Strange and Wonderful. Um, sorry about that technical goof up. Excuse me.
Yeah, we've been
Got a little
having
bit of
a
a
bunch
sore
of
throat
goofy
today.
technical difficulties, difficulties, and now I'm glitching. Sorry.
She's having some technical difficulties speaking.
Yes, I am a
So
robot.
yeah. So if you haven't been here before, this is the Strange and Wonderful, and this is a place where we get to celebrate strange and wonderful people and how strange and wonderful life is, and have some amazing, amazing conversations. Courtney has been bringing to the table some really wonderful guests. I want to actually, again, I'm going to bring this up a little bit better this time. This is this week's guest. Every week, Courtney does such an amazing job uh,
Oh,
with
thank
a little
you.
portrait of our guests. And I love looking at these and all of the detail that she puts into these, because I was doing a little bit of research about our guest, and all of these elements are very relevant. So it's very cool. Do you want to introduce this week's guest?
Yes, I will. Today's guest, her name is Ugly Shyla. She from down south of Louisiana originally and then moved to Austin, Texas. She is an alternative model, a doll maker, a jewelry maker, an amazing artist with her amazing skill in makeup and hair, and she's a model to some very handicapped squirrels.
Oh, very, very interesting. So you've got quite a mix of things going on today. Let's welcome to the show, Ugly Shyla. Hey, how you doing?
Hey!
Oh, wait, you're muted. I can't
Oh
hear you.
no!
Hold on a second. We're having technical difficulties again. Can you hear us?
Hello?
Oh, I think she's checking her settings there. I was just speaking to her right before the show, so I know she can get it. Um, but wow, crazy! This show is full of technical difficulties today, huh? We've we've
She's not getting any sound.
we've never had that. Shiloh,
I know.
why don't you go off and come back on? Can you hear us at all or no? Hold on.
I
Let
don't
me
think she
tell
can
her.
hear us.
No, she says in the chat here she can't
Yeah.
come back on. So I just told her to log off and come back on. What's up, Jessica? I see we've got Jessica Kalushin out there.
Hello,
We've got
Jessica.
Lily out there. We've got some
Hello, Lily.
people watching. So bear with us as we deal with our technical difficulties. This is kind of the first time where we've had
I
these
know. I
difficulties.
was like, whoa. We usually
Hold
have
on,
a good
and
wait.
I think she's back. Hello, can you hear us?
Hello.
Maybe
Testing.
not.
Testing.
Not yet.
Nope.
So while we're waiting, up there she goes. She left, and hopefully she'll come back into the stream. Why don't you tell us how you know Shyla, where you
How
met her?
I how I know Shyla? I originally met her through a Marilyn Manson fan group,
Okay.
and then I saw her artwork and her dolls and stuff, and I'm like, oh, I want to get to know this person. So I've decided to add her a friend on Facebook, and I just started following her work from like a fall, and she added me back, and because she thinks I'm wonderful as well with Dahlia.
Oh, you are wonderful. You're strange and wonderful. Absolutely. That's what we're all about. Okay, so I
Yeah.
see she left, and hopefully she's coming back. So yeah, I did a little bit of research, and there she is. She's back.
Hey, that
Hey,
Let's see.
was working. Sorry about that.
You're
oh, no
good.
problem. I'm glad you got back in. Can I ask you a quick favor?
Sure.
Are you on your phone?
Yeah,
Can you turn it sideways?
sure.
And it should hopefully
I
it
think
should.
wrong side.
No,
Oh,
Well,
no, it's not going to
hang
do it. All
on.
right. Sometimes it's set to not auto rotate, so it stays this way. That's fine. We still see you. You are
is that good?
beautiful, as ugly Shyla as ever. Yeah, that's fine. No, it's fine. I sometimes just like to try to make it all big, but you're
Yeah.
totally good.
Sorry
So how you
about
doing?
that.
Welcome to the show.
I think everybody's glitching.
No, no, I hear you. So I was just asking Courtney how you guys met. While we were waiting for you, and she said she met you in a Marilyn Manson fan group, and started to just enjoy your artwork. And oh, are we glitching? Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Courtney? Can you hear me, Shyla?
A little bit. You're glitching.
Yeah, you're glitching out.
Oh yeah, the bandwidth seems to be. Oh man, what is it? A full moon today or something? I don't know what the heck's going on. Anyway, so she started following you through your artwork, and I wanted to share some of that. Let me see if I can somehow.
Yeah, you're still breaking out, Michael.
I am. Can you hear me, or is it like chop?
It's like shocky.
Okay, so why don't you lead the conversation?
Me?
Yeah.
Okay. So you want me to start with my questions?
Sure.
Okay. Okay, Shyla. This is a really interesting episode. We never had this happen before, but
Sorry.
it's okay. You're good. Okay,
Your
well,
fault.
okay, nah, it happens. Tell us something that makes you strange and wonderful.
Well, I'm from Southern Louisiana. I'm Cajun, and I started making dolls when I was 16 years old, and I'm still making them now that I'm 42.
Oh wow, you don't look like you're 42 at all.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Okay.
Awesome. Very cool. So I'm. You know what?
Yeah,
I
it
think
works.
I'm back. Am I back? Am I smooth?
Yeah, we good.
Okay. So I wanted to share some of this stuff. I know I just shared this photo, but I wanted to share
My husband Jim
some
absolutely
of your.
loves that image all made.
Huh?
My husband Jim absolutely loves that image all made.
Oh, the image? Oh, thank
Yeah,
you.
it's so great. I love the dolls. I love the squirrels. So, oh, Charlotte. Yeah. Are you there, Shyla?
Yeah.
We lost Shyla.
Nope, she's back.
You need to log back
So
in?
I was just looking at. Yeah. No. Just stay where you're at.
Okay.
I think we're just dealing with the universe right now, which is
Yeah,
all
the
good. We can
universe
deal
is
with
just like the universe is. Well, we all in retrograde, so
Yeah.
That's right. We could deal with the universe. We're all pretty powerful. So I just brought up a piece of your work. Why don't you tell us a little bit about this piece and what you do as far as how you make your jewelry?
That's a polymer clay pendant that I made with a glass encapsulated piece that has some little metal crosses behind it, and the little crosses shake around when you move the piece around.
Oh,
Cool. So they're like loose inside.
Yeah.
Oh, very cool.
it's really pretty.
And what is that heart made out of?
Oh, that's polymer clay.
Polymer clay. Oh, that's what you said. Polymer. Okay. Wow, that's great. It almost looks like an organic stone or something like that. That's really, really, really beautiful. So I loved your jewelry. I'm going to show some of your dolls in a minute too, but I just wanted to look at some of these pieces, and I just wanted to hear you talk about what they are. I'm imagining. So polymer clay, is that your main medium?
It's one of my main mediums. It's what I sculpt my hand sculpted dolls out of. It's what I started sculpting dolls out of. So it's one of my original mediums that I started working in.
Wow. So this is all done by hand in polymer clay. That's
Yes.
really, really cool. And I love the finishes that you use. They're so reminiscent of like old, old gold and old jewelry, and really looks really nice. Really great work.
It kind of remind me. The necklace kind of remind me of Cthulhu.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow. That's very cool. I totally can see that. Very cool. Yeah, the amount of detail that I'm looking at, is really just so beautiful. So, people respond really well to your work. What kind of people like your work?
Really diverse fan base. Everybody from writers buy my work to gothic people to even semi-normal people buy my work.
Semi-normal people.
Yeah.
Okay. And do you do craft fairs at all, or is it just your Etsy shop?
I'll vend sometimes like gothic events and gothic craft fairs, things like that.
Yeah, I could see this stuff doing well there. Totally. Awesome.
We live in Texas, so we're kind of limited by the heat, depending on
Okay.
when we can do outdoor things.
Oh, right. Wow.
I feel
Cool.
you because I live in down south.
Yeah.
In
Yeah.
the same horrible heat. So one
Yeah.
more piece of jewelry, and then I'm gonna give it back to Courtney. I thought this one was
Oh, I love that one.
Yeah,
So-
that's a little vintage doll head that I took a mold of and made little pressings of it to make jewelry with.
wow, really cool. So what I liked about this was where you kind of mashed up your two styles, your jewelry style and your doll style. I
Yeah.
thought that was really kind of cool.
Any excuse to throw a doll into things.
I mean, I love dolls. I got doll joints on my knees.
Oh, that's
Totally.
I don't know if you've seen them on Facebook, but
No,
I
I
have
haven't
done.
seen. You'll have to send me a picture.
oh yes, I would. I mean, I could stand up and show you. Let me see. Hang on.
Oh, that's awesome.
No, let's see. Hold on. Nice.
I
Very
love
cool.
that.
And this
Very
is the
nice.
front. I'm trying not to fall.
Yeah, don't fall.
Yeah. That's the one side of it. And I think the back, I don't know if you can see the back. Probably not. Sorry.
That's all
Great.
right. That's all right. So before I give it back, because that's what I love about these conversations. I'm always inspired to like ask a question. So tell us about. You said you've been doing dolls since a very young age. So tell us how that all happened. How the fascination went from playing with dolls to making dolls.
I'm a big doll fanatic. And one year for my mother's birthday in 1996, I decided to try and sculpt her a doll, and I found that I was actually good at it.
Oh.
So I just kind of never stopped doing it.
Oh, nice, cool. So I'm a photographer, and I one of my favorite things to photograph is the human form, which
Yeah.
is I think that's kind of a similar obsession, right?
Yeah.
So
Anatomy.
very, very, very cool. Awesome. So
Okay.
I'm going to give it back to Courtney, and I'm going to take a little drink of water here so I can soothe my throat.
Okay. This is probably off the topic of dolls, but have squirrels always been your favorite animal?
No, I've always liked animals in general, but about 10 years ago, a squirrel was being attacked in my front yard by a cat. So
Wow.
I ran out to save her, and it was the Saturday before Easter, so I couldn't get a wildlife rehabilitator to take her. So I ended up having to take her in and raise her on my own, and that became my famous painting squirrel, Winkleheimer Smith, who passed away last year.
Aw.
But because of Winkleheimer, I got into rehabbing squirrels and ended up becoming a crazy squirrel lady.
And I think that's wonderful.
Yeah, that doesn't sound crazy to me. That sounds very altruistic and honorable.
Thank you.
Yeah. And I love the story that you were saving a squirrel, and all of a sudden it something about that whole event spoke to you, and it became a passion of yours. That's very cool. Awesome. Go back to you, Courtney.
Okay. How did you become a alternative model?
Well, people just started taking my pictures since I was the weird girl who made weird dolls, and that's how I fell into modeling. Like, I didn't have really any aspirations to be a model or anything, especially since I'm so weird looking that because I kind of was the girls who were just odd looking and not traditionally pretty. So I ended up being kind of a role model for some girls who weren't traditionally pretty and wanted to get into modeling.
Mm-hmm. That's great. Yeah, as a photographer, I love that. It's almost like a genre, right? Where unexpected, like the unexpected model, right? Where
Yeah,
people there's usually this, this, I guess, version of pretty, but I mean, really, like I think you're beautiful. I think the look that you have, it's like you've created yourself. You know what I mean? And I think
thank
that's beautiful in itself to be able to be your authentic self and express yourself the way you feel comfortable. I read one of it was either an interview or a statement on one of your pages about that in your art, that you wanted to just kind of break all of the traditions that people normally expect as far as like what's pretty and what's acceptable. And
yeah,
that's kind of also how you got into the Gothic style of art, right?
yeah.
Yeah, I thought that was really cool. I want to actually, I know, Courtney, I told you I was going to give it all to you, but I do have a couple more things I wanted to
No,
share.
you're
And
good.
this is a good segue to it, which is
Yeah.
this next picture, which is one of your dolls. Um, and I couldn't help but notice a very similar um, attribute to the dolls was just the attention to detail, like the little lace that you have, the actual jewelry. I'm imagining that's a piece of your jewelry that the doll is wearing that you made. um or maybe it was like a found brooch, but looking at your work, I think it's something that you made. Why don't you tell us a little bit about this piece?
That one is made to look like a old forgotten baby doll, and it's wearing a Mexican heart, Sacred Heart Milagros. And you can find that one in the Curium and Arcanum store here in Austin, Texas.
Oh,
Okay.
wow. So there's like a physical, like, oddity shop that's in.
Really cool store here in Austin, Texas. Have all kinds of ideas and stuff in there, pastory, weird art, and it's run by really lovely people.
Oh, that's awesome. So you sell a lot of your work through there?
I just started selling work through there, yes.
Okay.
Awesome. Good for
And
you.
there's a lot of other really cool artists in there.
That's great, though. You know what? It's good to be among that same, like the same kind of odd art. You know what I mean? Because that's when people are looking for that, all in one spot. That's awesome.
Yeah.
There's another one here. This is another one I
Oh, that
wrote.
one's my favorite. Kind of remind me of Alice in Wonderland.
Yeah, I love
Oh,
Alabama.
yeah. That's awesome. And then the other one I wanted to speak about was, oh no, I didn't get a picture of it. This one's actually cool too, but I had seen one where you had used some lace, almost like a hair, as the hair, and I thought I grabbed that picture. I thought that's what this was going to be. Why don't you tell us about this one?
That one's made to look like an old ghost. That one just recently sold to my friend Christy LaCroix.
Oh, cool.
Oh, shout out to Christy. Nice.
Yeah.
Good for supporting.
Christy's also an alternative model.
Nice.
Hey.
Very cool. Very cool. All right, so I wanted to give some time to your artwork because I do think it's really beautiful. I love people who really kind of know their own voice. You know what I mean? Like, you definitely, know your voice, and that's great. So, all right, Courtney, back to you,
Okay.
like a reporter.
Okay. Well, to Shyla, do you have a special connections with the dolls you make?
Yeah, I'm pretty meticulous about making them, and I'm also a very spiritual person, so I like to put that into my artwork. And I think I do have a connection with everything that I make, even my jewelry and my hand beaded jewelry and everything. I put energy into everything that I make.
Oh, okay.
Awesome. Well, I like that, Courtney.
Yeah, you do. I mean, would you like to be a guest on Michael's show?
So Courtney's talking about the live stream of consciousness, which is the show where I met Courtney. She was a viewer for that show, and there we talk about a lot of spiritual things and consciousness and all
Oh,
of
cool.
that stuff. Actually, I was going to ask you. So you say you're a very spiritual person, but that can actually mean different things to different people. Tell us what that means to you. What is your spirituality about?
I practice voodoo. Being from southern Louisiana, of course, I practice voodoo. I think everyone does down there. Not everyone will admit it, but practically everyone does. I've practiced voodoo from a very young age. I've been around it since I was very young, and been taught by a lot of older people how to practice voodoo and different rituals and things like that. So I try to incorporate that into my artwork.
Cool. All right. So I'm gonna stop you there and dig into this a little bit. So first of all, explain what is voodoo in the most basic way that you can to our audience.
Like someone that does not know voodoo
Right.
at all.
If you know somebody didn't know what
Because
voodoo.
I know what voodoo is.
Voodoo's a religion originally from Africa that was brought here by the slaves, and it was brought to different places like Haiti and Louisiana, where they had a large amount of slavery, and it eventually integrated into some of the other population, like where I'm from, Cajun country. Um, the slaves taught the Cajuns how to practice voodoo, and we also incorporated religious practices from the Native Americans and some superstitions from the Spanish and Germans. And basically, we have a saying, whatever works. We incorporated that into the religious practices. So the sort of New Orleans style of voodoo is a little bit different from like the Haitian and Santeria style of voodoo and African religious practices.
Okay. So what would be I guess I'm trying to find out what is a voodoo belief? What is a voodoo practice? What is it based on?
It's basically one main god, but that there's also it's sort of like the Catholic Church and saints, but we call them Loa or Orisha. They're deities that are under God that we petition for help, and we also pray to our ancestors for guidance, and it's a very ancestor heavy religion.
Okay.
Okay, interesting. I'm trying to like come at this from my angle of spirituality and energy, because a big thing that I believe in is energy, is basically the source of everything,
Yeah.
and everything is an energy exchange. So I'm trying to voodoo is something I'm aware of, and I kind of know some of the basics of it, but I don't know where it sits as far as I guess really my curiosity is like the connection to Mother Earth and to the universe and those kinds of things. Um,
Oh, we're
I'm
very
not
much believers in like Mother Earth and energy exchange. Like we present food offerings to our ancestors or to the spirits or to Mother Earth for in exchange for help.
Okay.
cool, cool,
Um,
cool.
I got a question. Um, when did you realize that voodoo actually works for you?
Well, like I said, I've been around it since I was a really young child. My mother would take me to different voodoo practitioners and card readers. And as a child, a lot of them told me that I had a gift. So I started getting into it more and more as a child. And like I said, growing up in Louisiana, you're around a lot of old people that practice it and are
Mhm.
into different superstitions and beliefs. Like in Cajun country, we have what are called traitors. They're traditional healers. They're
Mhm.
treaters or traitors, and
Mhm.
we go to them when we're sick for energy healing, basically.
Wow.
So it's like wakey in a way.
If they will do like different prayers over you and different things.
Mhm. Yeah, it sounds like a lot of energy and intention. A lot of those basic things. That's great. Awesome. I'm learning some stuff about voodoo. Very cool. So what else you got, Courtney? You got another
Okay.
question?
Oh yes, I do. Got that. Do your friends and family support your lifestyle?
My mother's side of the family is really supportive. My dad's side of the family isn't as supportive, but I just ignore them and go on with my life.
Mhm, mhm.
Okay.
Good for you.
My mother recently passed away, but she was extremely supportive of everything that I did.
That's awesome.
Okay.
Cool.
Okay. I I remember seeing a news segment about you and your squirrels. Tell us how you got there.
Well, my squirrels started mimicking. They learned how to do things by mimicking other squirrels. So she started mimicking me painting because she lived in my workroom. And I took a really short video segment of her and put it up on YouTube. And a guy from the Reuters news aggregate saw it and reposted it, and it went viral really quickly. And so she ended up like ABC, NBC, CBS, and I ended up having like all these news sources interview me and her, and she went viral really quickly.
Wow.
And
I
what
thought you said
squirrel
this
was
was your
that?
first time.
That was Winkleheimer, the first squirrel that I had that passed away last year in November.
Okay.
And so in the video, the squirrel was actually painting, like picked up.
Yes.
Wow.
She had a little paintbrush and she was painting with the paintbrush.
I didn't see that. I got to look that one up.
Yeah, we can look it up right now.
Yeah, if you look up Winkleheimer, Winkelhimer, you can find video of her and a bunch of news stories on her.
I'm going to do that while you guys are talking, and I'm going to get.
We
this
would
over.
sell the paint.
Wow. That's amazing. That's so cool. Oh, here it came right up. Winkelheimer Smith, the painting squirrel. Well, let me see if I could get this. Wow. All right. Let me see if I could share this. This is very cool. Hold on. Share screen. There we go. Meet Winkelheimer. Oh, I don't know if it's going to have the sound or if there is going to be even sound, but
We can see.
We'll find out. And it's not playing.
Oop.
Of course it's not playing because of its technical difficulty. It's the technical difficulty.
Really today.
Yeah. All right.
Enemy retrograde.
You know what? I'm going to go back to, hold on a second. Winkelheimer videos. Meet Winkelheimer. The internet star, Winkelheimer Smith.
The beautiful squirrel.
Oh, look at Winkelheimer.
Yeah, she was a cutie.
So cute. All right, let's see if we could get this to work. Ba-ba-ba-bum.
So
Many technical
from
difficulties.
my bed.
You learn how to use a brush.
Oh, there she is.
Yeah.
Oh.
Oh, geez, now I'm in full screen and I can't see you guys.
There she is.
Yeah, it was just a little clip I took of her and it went viral.
That's very cool. You know what? Because I think people aren't used to, squirrels are such like not usually friendly. You know, they don't usually approach humans. So I think people are fascinated by seeing the squirrel in like a human environment. I've had experiences with squirrels that have been friendly and have come up and actually eaten out of my hand and stuff like that. So I feel pretty fortunate, but that's not usual. They're usually pretty skittish.
Well, when I was a kid, I had a bad experience with a squirrel one time. I was at the park and I stuck my head in a trash can and the squirrel went.
Why would you stick your head in a trash can?
I was a curious little kid. I wanted to know what was in the trash can.
Well, it
And
was
you
a
found out
squirrel.
there was a squirrel.
Yeah.
That's hysterical. Oh my goodness. That's great. So that video went viral, and so I mean, I'm guessing it changed your life momentarily. You were contacted by news sources and stuff.
Yeah.
That's cool. And did they still reach out to you at all, or was that your 15 minutes of fame?
Well, since she passed away, they don't reach out as much, but they reached out the entire time that she was alive.
Oh, really? Following up and wanting more?
Oh,
She ended up in the Guinness World Book of Records.
Oh, that's amazing.
Wow. And what is that for?
For being the world's only painting squirrel.
That's
wow,
amazing.
Wow, that's amazing.
That's amazing. Congratulations.
Thank
to
you.
Do you have one of your squirrels with you right now?
Well, Bunny's in the bedroom. He's asleep.
The
little blonde one.
Cute.
Yeah, I think it's the one I drew in the middle.
Yeah, that's the one.
Nice.
He had dinner and he's to bed.
Oh, nice. So how many squirrels do you have living with you?
I just have the one now. Mr. Man recently passed away. But I have the blonde one left.
Okay. And what's a squirrel's typical lifespan?
Well, Winkle lived to be around 9 years old. In theory, they could live to be 20 in captivity.
Oh wow.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. And
And
so
oh,
where do
sorry.
they come from? Where do the squirrels come from?
Well, Mr. Man was paraplegic and we found him outside, so mine are all just rescues.
Mhm.
Bunny has these sort of tight hamstrings where he can't jump very far, and being blonde, he'd be prey for hawks and things. So I had to trap him outside because he was just falling off of the fence.
Oh,
And
geez.
so we brought him into the vet, and the vet examined his legs and said his legs were really tight, so he can't jump very well, so he can't live outside.
Wow. Okay.
did you ever get in trouble with like certain people like, oh, I don't want you taking care of them squirrels and stuff because the against the law or stupid stuff
Well,
like that?
they're handicapped, can't be outside, so I have really no choice in the matter.
Okay.
Wow. Cool. And that's
And do
all.
you plan to be a squirrel mama for the rest of your life?
If they continue to choose me, I will.
Oh,
That's a good answer. I like
yeah.
that answer. And you know what? I have a feeling they probably will.
Probably so. I think so too.
The squirrel whisperer. Nice. Cool. What else you got for us, Courtney?
Okay, I have one last question. I usually save it for the end, but we're not even close to the ending, and I'm like, no, I ran out of questions.
That's all right.
Okay, well, let me get this one out of the way. Okay, Shyla, if you could go back in time to your kid self, what would you tell them?
I'd probably tell them to get ready for a bunch of dolls and a bunch of squirrels.
Cool. But you already knew as your kid self about the dolls, at least, right?
Pretty much, yeah. At 16, I did.
Yeah. That's great. That's awesome. So what is next for you, Shyla? What do you got on your agenda these days?
I started getting into making beaded jewelry, so I'm doing a bunch of hand beaded jewelry now.
Okay, yeah, I did see that on the Etsy site. Cool. And again, I'm guessing you're uh is that like how you make a living with your jewelry, or is there
Oh, with
something
my
else?
dolls and my jewelry. That's what I do
Nice.
for a living.
That's a full-time job for you. That's
Yeah.
amazing. That's
Yeah.
wonderful. Awesome. Congratulations on that as well. Sounds like you're living a pretty damn neato life.
Full of dolls and squirrels.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that you
And she,
created. You manifested all of that.
and she also made this necklace that I'm
Oh yeah,
wearing.
bring that really close to the camera. I want to see that. Nice. Very cool. So tell us about that necklace. What does that represent?
It's got a grandma on it, which is it's like a universal sigil for good luck.
Mm-hmm.
And it has teeth and just various things that I'm obsessed with on it.
So what this? Is this like a crystal ball?
Yeah.
Nice.
Sweet.
And this is a hand. And that's the pentagram. I know you can see it.
Awesome. Yeah, we could see it. That looks cool.
Yeah, it's like a universal lucky symbol.
Well, I'm gonna be lucky.
That's great. So why don't you? I would love to hear an energy story. Tell us a story that's most memorable to you about an energy exchange where you were, giving somebody energy and there was some sort of noticeable interchange. Something happened. Something changed, or I don't know, anything regarding energy. I would love to hear it.
Oh, anytime I've been on stage, like it's a total energy exchange. Like that's why I've done performance art in the past. It's such an energy exchange with the crowd when you're on stage, and I've done flesh pools and things like that, and you just get so much energy from the crowd when you're doing things like that, especially when you're doing something where you have to overcome pain in your own body.
Oh, wow. So we didn't even talk about that as far as you being a performer. I didn't even know that you were a performer. So what kind of performing do you do? It sounds like something that I've been exposed to and I'm intrigued by.
I've done like flesh pools with AMF in the past, and I've done performance art, and I do things that are funny and shocking, and then things that are really serious, and it just depends on the mood at the time.
So, why don't you explain to people who might not know what a flesh pull is?
Because I'm kind of curious about that too.
Where you get put in your body and pull against another person, or a person pulls against you, they pull on the hooks, or you have to overcome the pain in your body while they're pulling against you.
So
Okay.
it's like you put the needle into the skin and then they like lays you up in the air or something like that.
Yeah, you just don't get pulled up in the air. They just pull you while you're standing there.
Oh, I want to do that. That sounds
Okay,
fun.
it's related to suspension.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, because I have some friends who the Skindicate, I think they were called, and they did a lot of suspension, and I was always very, very intrigued by it because of its kind of its ancient ritualistic history, and
Yeah.
the idea of the euphoria that you're supposed to experience, kind of overcoming the pain, exactly what you're talking about. I had an experience where I was hired as a photographer to to take photographs of somebody's personal suspension. They actually had this Skindicate company come to their house, set up the truss, and do a suspension with them and suspend them. And it was really like watching somebody do a ritualistic they were in euphoria. It was pretty amazing to watch, very, very intriguing. I think a lot of people look away, and they just can't really fathom it. But for me, it was just always very intriguing. It was like almost like a test of human willpower and strength.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
yeah, really, really interesting. So how did you get into that?
I made friends with Luis Fleischer from AMF and AMF Corsets, and he's the one that introduced me into doing it.
So I'm not familiar with that. What is AMF?
It's a performance art thing that Luis Fleischer does. He's German, from Germany, from Berlin, and he does pulling the sound, and does a lot of flesh performance rituals.
Interesting, and I've seen some pretty cool like human corsets where they actually will go through the skin and
Yeah.
lace up the back or something like that. Really nice kind of artwork. I'm always intrigued by that stuff too, just as a photographer and a visual artist, I think.
Yeah, Luis does some really amazing stuff. Look up his stuff. You'll really love it.
Wow. Very, very cool. And this is like a personal friend of yours now?
Yeah.
Wow, that's very cool. And do you travel around doing any of this stuff or only locally?
No, I've traveled doing it a bit.
Okay.
Very cool, very cool. And I mean, I don't want to use the wrong terminology, because I guess most people would kind of say that's almost like freak show kind of
Yeah.
performance, like circus, kind of that kind of thing. How would you describe it if somebody asked you what you did?
It's a body modification art.
hmm hmm Cool, cool. I totally dig it. Awesome.
When you first came in contact with it, were you like scared of it or were you just excited?
No, I have a really high tolerance for pain, so I wasn't afraid of it. I figured I could pretty well handle it.
Cool. And how often is it something that you engage in?
I've done it a few times in the past, and I'd really like to do it again later in the future.
Cool. Very cool. And do you have any current body modifications you want to share with us?
I just have my facial piercings and my neck piercing.
Cool. Awesome.
And I plan on getting a memorial tattoo for Winkelheimer later.
Oh,
Okay.
nice.
Yeah, that's really nice.
Totally, totally cool. Awesome. So, Courtney, what are you thinking? What are your thoughts about suspension and all of that stuff?
I want to do it.
Oh yeah,
It looks fun. It looks really fun. I want to do it because I like the pain and
Now,
stuff.
I don't think fun would be a word I would use to describe it. I mean, intriguing is more the word.
I
But
mean,
listen, different
I
strokes for
was,
different folks, right?
yeah, because I was open to it because I remember when I was like looking at body from body modifications,
Hmm.
and that came up, and at first a kid me was like, "Oh, that looks scary. I don't want to do that." Now as an adult, I'm like, I want to do that.
Hmm.
I really want to do that, especially when I watched Strangeland. I was like, I want to do
Oh, that's
that.
right. I forgot about your obsession with Strangeland. I forgot
That's
about
such a
that.
classic movie now.
Yes, I love
Oh,
that movie.
it's such so visually stunning, that movie. I remember just kind of just being in awe watching it the whole time. And again, it's the kind of thing where the person next to you might be like, "Oh my God," and covering their eyes because they can't watch. But
Yep.
Yeah,
it's definitely intriguing, and a testament to the human body, what the human body can endure for sure.
it had opened my sight to new things, and I'm like,
Nice. And then here we are at the Strange and Wonderful.
hello.
Totally cool.
Is there any questions in the guest? Any not guests? Any people in the
Oh
chat? Do
yeah.
you have any questions?
Yeah, we got a couple of people out there watching. If anybody wants to say hello, I'll bring up your chat. I saw Lily said there was lots of static earlier, but that was before we fixed all the problems. So far, we've been doing all right. And so, Shyla, how are you feeling about this moment on the Strange and Wonderful? Are you enjoying this?
This is great. I've never done one of these before. It's great.
Cool,
I mean,
cool.
this is
Yeah.
my first podcast.
I love this new platform where
Yeah.
we can just kind of go online, and whoever wants to tune in can tune in and join us if they want, or see it later. But for me, the most I enjoy is getting to meet new people and having conversations. I mean, I don't think we ever would have met in public, so it's like I get to meet you and hear about you, and I love doing a little research and seeing what people are doing, their artwork and all of that stuff.
And it brings warmth and joy to my heart because I'm letting you enjoy a side that I see to
Yes, yes.
someone that don't see it every day.
Yeah. So Courtney had suggested this show, and again, the thing that I like about what she's doing is she's using it as a platform to meet a lot of people that she corresponds with, and never really got to meet and talk to face. And now
Yep.
suddenly
Very cool.
Yeah.
she's actually able to do that. And that's, I mean, that's a form of manifesting. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
She's basically manifested her opportunity to do this, and look at her smile. Look how pretty she is.
Oh, thank you.
Um, uh, I really appreciate that you did this, Courtney, because it's really opened up my eyes. The live stream of consciousness was like the first step for me to even not be shy and get in front of the camera and talk to people. And now it's like I feel like the conversations that we've been having are even more expansive because it's such a variety of people.
And
Um,
without
you
the
know,
live stream of consciousness and without just introducing the show to me, I wouldn't meet you and then wanted me to produce my own podcast because I was like, I could finally do this. But
yeah.
when we see Michael want to do it too, and you were like, yeah, I want to do it. I'm like,
Well,
yes.
I'm probably gonna kick you out of the nest in a few weeks and
Oh
let you
no.
start doing this by yourself. I'll certainly come
Yeah.
by and
Put on your
watch.
big girl panties.
Yeah,
Oh
you got to put
no.
on your big, you got to put on your big bro panties. Oh, and we have Peter Bales. Peter Bales online. Peter is a good friend of mine. Great show. Can energy exchange happen with inanimate objects? What a great conversation question by Peter, and that one's for you, Courtney. Um, Tell us about your energy exchange with Dahlia. What does that feel like to you? What can
Mine
you
is
tell us?
feeling like a form of self love with me. She embraced the energy that I have love and she gives back to me. And plus, I do have my boyfriend too, but I always wanted a doll,
Mhm.
and she's my girlfriend.
That's awesome. So I think what Peter's asking is, so obviously, you are an animate object, right? You're a human being and you have feelings and you have energy. And I know that inanimate objects have energy too. I know that everything has energy, right? The atoms inside of everything are moving around, right? Everything is energy. I guess I'm just curious as to what that feels like coming from Dahlia. Do you feel, is it like a reflection of your own self and your own love?
Yes,
Okay,
very
that's
much.
kind of what I imagine it as. That's like you're able to put the energy that you want to get back out there, and you get that energy back. That's awesome. And that's, I think, the same sentiment we've had from a few people in your doll community, which is very cool too. I feel like an honorary member, even though I don't have a doll friend. I feel like I would love to hang out with some people with a bunch of dolls and just have a big party. Awesome. So thank you, Peter, for watching. Thank you for your question. um and Ugly Shyla, what else do we have? I mean, I guess I understand. Again, I love when she told me, "Oh, we're gonna have Ugly Shyla on the show." I was just like, "That's amazing." I mean, that's just such a it's such a vulnerable name to choose for yourself, and such a strong name to choose for yourself in the same stroke. You're like you're declaring your vulnerability and you're declaring your strength. I love that. I think
Thank
that's awesome. Good for you. Well, I loved this conversation. I don't know where we're supposed to go. I know we don't always have to go for an hour. If we
No,
feel like we've run out of some steam, we certainly can. Um, Shiloh, I would love to know what you would like to tell the world, what you would like the world to know. Maybe it's something
you.
about you, or maybe it's just general advice for the world, because the world is in kind of not the greatest shape right now. So let's give you that opportunity. Let's give you that platform.
Everybody be kind to squirrels.
I
that's a good
love
one.
it.
You
Everybody
never
be
know what'll happen once you're kind to a little squirrel.
changed your life.
It did.
Got you on NBC, CBS, ABC.
Yeah.
That's awesome. That's so cool. Awesome. Well, what about you, Courtney? Do you have any closing thoughts for the day?
Be kind to animals because you don't know where you're going to be at, and you might need animals' help and love.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And I'm going to take both of your sentiments and I'm going to kind of shorten it up. And I'm just going to say, be kind, right? Be
Yeah,
kind.
Yeah.
You have a choice every day: be kind or not be kind. It seems simple to me, right?
exactly.
So great. So Shyla, do me a favor, just hang out for a couple of minutes. I'm going to put you backstage so
Okay.
Courtney and I can sign off, and I'd love to say goodbye to you afterwards. So thank you for being with us. Thank you for sharing your
It was
squirrel
great.
stories. What's that?
It was great meeting you guys.
It's
Awesome.
great meeting you too. This is my first time meeting you.
That's awesome. That's
Hopefully
awesome.
not
All
the
right.
last.
I hope
No,
not you. No.
we're going to say hi to you in just a minute. So
Okay.
we'll see
Okay.
you later.
Bye.
Awesome. Another great show, Courtney. You are amazing, bringing some really amazing people to the table.
Thank you. I never thought I'd be really good at. I mean, I'm better than make clean my room though, but I'm better at organizing people for the show than anything.
No, you're doing a great job, and congratulations on a
Oh,
wonderful
thank you.
show. The Strange and Wonderful is wonderful. I've actually been told by a few people that surprisingly to me, they watch the stuff, and I thank you all for being here
Thank
and
you.
sharing these moments with us. I don't actually have the outro to play because I rendered the wrong one.
Yeah,
So
but I can tell you who's going to be on here next week.
why don't you do that? Tell us who's here next week.
We going to introduce my wonderful friend. He is a special effects artist in the horror community, and he's a director, sometimes producer, and sometimes actor. His name is Joe Castro.
Joe Castro, another member of the independent film circuit. Awesome. So he's a
Yep.
makeup artist, he's an actor, director, all of that stuff. I love that stuff. You know I do. So awesome. We will see you guys next week. Thank you for being here.
See you
And
next
I
week.
apologize for not having any music. See ya.